Right. First thing I want to do is I want to talk about mortgages, because most of you have got a mortgage, I'm assuming, right? So let's just use a 100 grand mortgage. Say we've got a mortgage taken out for 20 years and it's $100,000, right? You repay back the bank, just to keep figures round, $1,000 per month, which is 12 grand a year. Now, if you pay back the bank 12 grand a year for 20 years, how much have you repaid to the bank? Correct, $240,000, right? You all knew, didn't you, that you paid back the bank a lot more than you borrowed? Did you all know that? Yeah. Yeah, we all laugh about that. I still remember, I bought my first house when I was 21, and I still remember the annual summary. I thought I must have paid a whack off. I ended up paying about $500 off, and you've been paying $1,000 a month. You think, how's that? Anyway, one of the first things we've got to do, if you've got any debt, mortgage, car, credit cards, we've got to kind of manage that, because it's not tax deductible and it's very, very expensive, even the mortgages, right? So we want to help you get rid of that mortgage really quickly. Now, a lot of people are paying their mortgage back weekly or fortnightly to get rid of it quickly. Anyone doing that? Yeah, great, good. Let me explain. Fortnightly payments work. The most obvious reason why it works is you're making 24 fortnightly payments instead of 12 monthly payments, okay? So you're making extra payment. 26 fortnightly payments and 12, I've lost my maths there, 12 monthly payments, right? You know what I mean. So you're making extra payments there. But the other reason it works is sort of a technical one. It's all based on how the interest is charged on your mortgage. The interest is charged on the daily balance. So each day, the bank's computer goes into your mortgage and says, how much do you owe today? And it charges you 1 day's worth of interest, all right? Adds it up, charges it out monthly. So if you make a payment halfway through the month, you are lowering the daily balance, aren't you? You've made a payment. Yeah? So when the computer goes in the next day, it says, how much do you owe today? Oh, you don't owe quite so much today. I won't charge you so much. So it charges you a little bit less for the rest of the month. Okay? But you keep the payment the same. So you're making an extra payment there as well. If you only did that for a year, it wouldn't hardly have any effect. But you do it over the life of the mortgage, it's going to help you get rid of the mortgage a bit quicker, isn't it? Yeah? And it does. So some clever clogs some years ago, I think it was Citibank come up with the first type of one, said how can we help people lower the daily balance as often as possible throughout the month? Yep. So they come up with an account. The most modern one that some of you have got, lots of you have got probably, is a thing called an offset account. Yeah, we got one of them? Yep. It's like a type of savings account for those that you don't know. Whatever you put in this offset account, you can take straight out. But whatever the balance is in this offset account offsets what you pay interest on in your mortgage. So if that's your mortgage and you've got this much in your offset account, you're only going to pay this much interest. You with me? So if you're saving up for Christmas, you put it in your offset account. You don't need another savings account anymore. It offsets here. If you're a self-employed hairdresser and you've got cash money coming in each day and you need that money to buy hairspray at the end of the month, you save it in this account, it offsets, yeah? What if you're not self-employed and got cash? What if you're not saving for Christmas? What if you just, run out of money each month or week? What can you do? Can you take advantage of this? Yes, you can. Let me just show you. I'm going to assume that you and your partner get paid monthly and you bring home $1,000 a month between you, okay? So $4,000 a month, $1,000 a week. So what we do is when we get our $4,000, we pay it into our mortgage and we're going to reduce the daily balance to $96,000, correct? Yep. You say, fantastic. But how the hell, Steve, are we going to eat if I'm putting all my wages into my savings account? So I've got a solution. Cracker biscuits and water. No, it's a credit card. right? I've talked about credit cards, I've bagged them, but if we use them correctly, we can use the credit card company's money to make us money. What we do is we live on the credit card company's money, okay? We do our tap and go, tap and go, tap and go. You need very little cash nowadays. You need a cash for a newspaper, a bit of this, but even a coffee now you can just tap and go, can't you? So you keep as much of your money in the offset account, all right? At the end of the month, you must not go stupid with the credit card. Obviously, don't go buy a racehorse or something with it, right? So you do your normal spending. Now, we needed $1,000 for the mortgage, remember? And we spend the other $3,000. The credit card bill comes in. We take the $3,000 out of here. The balance will go up to $99,000. We completely swipe the credit card. No sort of part payments anymore, you know, no minimum payments anymore. Get that out of your vocabulary. We're going to wipe the credit card. We live on the credit card company's money interest-free for a month. Get some frequent flyer points as well. Little bonus, right? People come up to me and say, Steve, you forgot to mention the frequent flyer points. So I've started to remember now. Now, this is at the end of the month. What happens at the end of the month? The very same day or the very next day, our $4,000 comes in, balance is down to 95 grand, and so on. Got it? So we start at 100, we want to end up at 0. The balance is going to zigzag on its way down. It will come down much faster, much faster. Typical circumstances, normal incomes, normal expenditure. This 20-year mortgage could be gone in half the time. Half the time. How much was it going to cost us to pay that mortgage back? 240 grand, remember? I've just shown you a way of paying it off in half the time, haven't I? And psst, come here. It works. It works. So go do it. After Easter. No, tomorrow. But, because all this is about human elements, right? I've just shown you a way of paying off your mortgage in half the time, and you can do that, right? But, tell me this, if this was you in 10 years' time, the day you've paid your mortgage off, are you automatically $120,000 richer? You're not, are you? It just means you don't need the mortgage payment next month, doesn't it?
It's 10 years early, so of course you're not.
Yeah, exactly. So the only way you can become 120 grand richer is next month you save your mortgage payment. And you save your mortgage payment every month for 10 years, and then you'll have the 120 grand, won't you? You are not automatically richer just because you got rid of your mortgage. What do most people do the next month when they go, oh, we don't have to pay our mortgage this month? What are they going to do with that grand? Go spend it. We need a holiday. We need a new car. We need a new telly. So what we've learned is that's the fool's way of doing it. But what I've just shown you is a very fantastic way of managing the money. So this is what you should do, right? We've agreed that you should do things now, not after Easter. So tomorrow, go change the way you pay your mortgage back, okay? In your lunch break tomorrow, I want you to go buy a house, okay? Well, we'll do it all tomorrow and then you don't have to worry about it, right? So when that house becomes yours, I'm obviously joking, you're not going to do it tomorrow, are you? Can we lighten up? But when this house becomes yours, right, there's something fantastic that happens that most people don't consider. Boy, this is better than a family food fight tonight, I tell you. What we're going to do is we're going to get rent coming in. The tax man's going to give us his money. You are either $33 positive or you've got to find 50 bucks or something, right? There's a third element there, okay? What you've just done in your business of asset building, you've just created cash flow, right? You cannot spend any of that cash flow because it's for the costs of the property, right? We understand that. You remember the pie chart? Yeah? But that money comes in to pay the bills and the bills aren't due. So you've got to save that money somewhere, haven't you? Where would you save that money? Yeah, of course. So we then pump, that's 30 grand a year, right? You're pumping an extra 30 grand a year cash flow, reducing the daily balance, right? it must get rid of your mortgage even quicker, mustn't it? Of course. So let's say instead of 10 years, we get rid of it in 8 years. Got to go and buy a new pen. 8 years. I've just shown you a way of being debt-free 2 years quicker because you went and got more debt. Remember the thing that most people are scared of, you know? Hang on a second. That more debt creates cash flow, which helps me get rid of debt. Got it? That's pretty clever, isn't it? Because it works. In 8 years' time, you are now debt-free on here. No more car debt, no more. Now, one of the things I notice when I go and see someone, particularly, you know, they're getting on, they're 50-somethings, and I say to them, they've just bought a car and they've still got 200 grand on their mortgage or whatever the hell the situation is. And I say to them, what's your exit strategy? How are you going to get out of this situation by the time you want to retire? Oh, no one has an exit strategy. Here's your exit strategy. I've just shown you how to become debt-free on your own home. Debt-free, we'll include the car loan, the credit card, boom, everything, right? In 8 years' time, you've got a $1,000 mortgage payment that you don't need anymore. So instead of spending it on a holiday, we pay it off this one. Yeah? We have a line of credit attached to this one now, an offset account. We put this money through it, put our wages through it. This debt is going to come down even quicker, isn't it? But we don't wait 8 years. In 2 years' time, we want more cash flow. So you go buy another one. Yep, because you're going to get more. In 4 years, 3 or 4 years' time, 5 or 6, 7 or 8, 9 or 10. And each time, you're getting more cash flow. You got it? Can you sense the snowballing effect? Because the more cash flow I've got, the quicker I can get rid of debt. And then I can attack this one and so on, right? So, 10, 15 years' time. The younger you are, the more time you've got, just quite simply, the more money you'll make. Because it's all about time, really. And obviously constantly keeping the wheels turning and building this asset business. But let's say it's 15 years' time. Let's say you have got 6 there. You're debt-free on your own home, car, credit cards, la la la. You're not debt-free on your investment portfolio. Your business has still got debt. So, we sell 2 of them. I'm not an advocate of selling them because if we sell them, we've got no passive income coming in. But we sell 2 of them to clear the debt on the other 4. I don't know which 2. It doesn't matter. Whichever 2 have performed the best. If they doubled every 7 years, there's doubling going on there, isn't there? You wipe the debt. You've got 4 properties. Let's say $500 a week rent each coming in. That's $2,000 a week. And you don't have to get out of bed. You could be having a cup of coffee in the south of France with me. We could share emu photos. I mean, if you get that far ahead, you've got to buy yourself an emu, hey? How's your emu going? Oh, he's a little tiger. That's a pretty good strategy, isn't it? You've seen, it's taken us a journey, but we've had to spend the time to go through everything to arrive at that, so everybody in the room fully understands. Some of you are different speeds to others, okay? So I hope what I've done is I've stepped you through, and so you see how plainly you can achieve that.